In today's video, I'm going to make a quick and easy melt and pour project that you can have ready to make when any kids come into your studio space and they want to help participate in your craft work. So here, we're going to make our mermaid sugar scrub bars. Now, one thing that you might commonly experience is that just because you may have a DIY craft hobby or small business that you do from your kitchen, or you have a studio space in your home, that this will double up as some kind of kid-friendly project area. The kids in your family might be interested in what you're doing, or other people might even send their kids over to you thinking that you can keep them busy while you work just because you're at home. So, if you are new to soap making, it's important to know that soap making is not a kid-friendly activity. You need to keep kids, pets, out of the way when you're working with lye, because accidents from chemical burns are no joke. Now in my house, I really won't do any real soap making projects with anyone under the age of 12 in my area. And usually if they're around that age, it's a one-on-one activity. That's just me personally, it's what I feel comfortable managing. But sometimes the littles want to get involved. And with supervision, you can put together a project that they can make with three things in mind. One, it's actually usable and pleasant to use. Two, it doesn't really put a dent in any of your expensive supplies and they're not rummaging through your things. And three, you keep all the actual chemicals locked up and out of the way when they have their hands all over your tools. So these mermaid-themed sugar scrub bars are a great project that turn out perfect for kids' baths. Now, here we'll start off with 9 ounces of clear melt and pour soap, and I know what you're already thinking. I've seen all those comments on the popular melt and pour videos where people say, how is this making soap when you're buying actual soap as the main ingredient? Well, I don't know what to tell you. You can't make soap without chemicals, so this is really the safest way to assemble a kid's kind of a project. So if you don't like it, don't think of it as making soap, just think of it as making a memory. Okay, now I'm not a huge fan of just plain melt and pour, so I'm going to add 3 ounces of shea butter to make these bars a bit softer. And then our final ingredient, it's very simple, 9 ounces of plain white granulated sugar. Now this will end up giving us about 6 bars at 3 ounces apiece. And so these are sugar scrub cubes essentially. And instead of the emulsified oils, which can start to get too expensive, we're going to use the melt and pour to sort of lock that sugar in place. Now, if you are interested in a more complicated natural version of this kind of sugar scrub, I have a hot process sugar scrub bar that's absolutely beautiful that you can make from scratch with real soap in a slow cooker, and you can see that video if you click the link up at the top. Now, I'm also using Mermaid Kisses fragrance oil, which seems appropriate for the project. So this sugar bar features a marbled ombre color design with those soft mermaid colors. And some great examples of mermaid colors are this iris purple mica powder, a sea green mica, the amaranth pink mica, and this blue enviro glitter. And all of these shades come from Nurture soap, and these are perfect mermaid pastels in melt and pour. So with your little helper, you're going to chop up the melt and pour into 1-inch squares, and then also break up the shea butter and melt these down in the microwave. Now remember, this part does need supervision. These temperatures get boiling hot, so you need to know where everyone's elbows and hands are when the soap is melted. Now blend these together and separate them out into 4 parts. Color each part with just a small amount of mica, and add more as you get the color that you like. So if you use more color, they'll end up being brighter, and if you use less color, the mica will be suspended in the soap and you'll get that cloudy, ethereal look. Now eventually I'll just start to spoon the sugar in here and mix, and then once you start to get this mixed in, you can expect the soap to start thickening. don't worry about this. Just start to pour in alternating colors, and if you need to, just pop it back into the microwave until it becomes a thin liquid again. Don't worry too much if the sugar starts to melt a little bit. It's going to crystallize as it hardens and cools down. It'll end up just being a little bit smoother. Now layer these as you like. Now I've poured with the lightest colors first and then graduating to the darkest. Now these molds, by the way, they came from Walmart, and these usually show up in January, right around for Valentine's Day. You can expect to see them coming up in the next few months if you've checked over there. I noticed that they've been reoccurring year after year. So if you like exactly what you see right here, that's where you can find them. The reason why I'm using these, by the way, is I picked them up for their ruffled sides that to me look like a mermaid tail, so I think they end up capturing that sort of mermaid ombre look very well. Now after about 30 minutes, I can pop these right out of the mold, and I have these little spaces that I'm just going to fill with a bit of melt and pour colored with that darker version of the amaranth pink. So once we're done getting all this poured, we're going to let this sit for another 30 minutes, and then as soon as they're dried, they're ready to go for tonight's bath. So if you have kids just visiting, little family members, you can actually let these set aside for just a little while, wrap them up, and send them out the door with the kids as they leave for the afternoon. So here you have a quick and easy project that you can pull out when the kids invade your workspace, and then you can send them home with something in their hands without too much rummaging through your supplies or any risk of accidents. I hope you liked today's quick video. Now stay tuned tomorrow. I have a really great recipe for a mint chocolate sugar scrub. It's a sugar lip scrub with full moisturizing oils. Our next sugar scrub is for us grown-ups. Full exfoliating experience with rich luxury oils. So be sure to subscribe and come back tomorrow.